Okay, second part of my testimony. After that phone call with my husband, I really didn't think about Jesus at all. Tried not to. Just didn't really cross my mind. And one night, when I was almost 7 months pregnant, I went to sleep, and I had this dream. In this dream, I was on my old college campus, and I was with two of my friends from college, and we were standing in front of this building. It was actually a bank, because it was a dream, of course, so it's not how, there wasn't really a bank on the campus, but that's how it was in the dream. And we were walking into this bank, and I had this backpack, right? And we walked up the steps to this vault, and there were all these gold bars just laid out, right? And I started to feel convicted about something. Something told me this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. And at that point, one of my friends said, "Hey, I want you to get these gold bars and put them in your backpack. Let's take them and go." And I just said no, because I knew it was wrong. And then he pulled a gun on me and said, "Hey, put them in the bag now." So I did. And that's very unrealistic too, of course. I wouldn't be able to carry all that out in real life, but that's what happened in the dream. So I put all that stuff in my backpack, and then we walked down the stairs, and we got outside, and I felt so bad about it. Excuse me. I saw the security guard. We walked outside like the security guard had been waiting for us. And I set my backpack down, and he came up, and of course my friends looked really scared, and he started interrogating them and ignored me. So as he started talking to them, I was really, really relieved, because I was afraid of my friend. I felt betrayed, and I didn't want to be around either one of them anymore. So I just started walking back, and I turned around and looked for a place to go. And there was a building next to the bank. It was a chapel, the church. So I walked into this building, and in this dream, I kept wandering around this building looking for help, and there's just something in my mind that said that I needed help, and I needed to call somebody for help. And so I wandered in this building for what seemed like hours, and I couldn't find anybody to help me. I finally got to this room upstairs in this building, and I walked in, and I saw my husband sitting at this table, and there was a telephone on the table and a lamp, and there was a chair across from him, and I sat down, and of course we weren't married at this time, but I said, "Dustin, I need help." And he said, "Well, what's wrong?" I said, "I don't know, but I know I need to call somebody. I need to call somebody for help now." And he looked at me and he said, "Well, I can't help you. Who are you supposed to call?" And I said, "Well, I don't know who I'm supposed to call. I just know I need to call somebody for help. Please help me." And then he just looked at me, and his eyes turned red, and he just turned into this monster and grabbed my arm and started biting my arm. And at that moment in this dream, I screamed, "Jesus, save me. Jesus, save me." And I woke up at that point, and it was just, I instantly woke up at that point in the dream, and I was lying on my back in my bed, and I was completely paralyzed. I couldn't move my arms or legs except, and I remember thinking to myself, "I'm awake, I'm okay." And then I heard myself whispering, "Jesus, save me, Jesus, save me," just over and over again. And at that point, I felt something come over me, and it was this feeling I never felt before, and you really wouldn't know unless you had experienced it, but I knew that was Jesus, and I knew at that moment that He was real. And I just remember feeling that and just having that realization, Jesus is real. He's real. And that wore off. And the rest of the day, it was in the back of my mind. I couldn't really stop thinking about it. And I just felt different for the rest of the day. But I still, I identified as an atheist for so long. I felt that was so important to me as part of my identity. I really didn't want to consider Jesus any further. So I tried to forget about it. And then one day my mother came in, and I was watching TV, and she sat down, and she made some comment about something some idiotic Christian had said, and was kind of mocking what that person said. Started laughing. She said, "I know you're an atheist, so you understand these Christians are just crazy." And at that point, something just clicked, and I just looked at her and said, "You know what? I'm not an atheist anymore." And I didn't feel bad for saying that. And she just looked at me in shock, like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, I know that God is real. And more than that, I know that Jesus Christ is real." And it was as if that was the moment of truth. And after that, I knew there was no going back. And that's kind of how I began this walk on the narrow road. And that's just the beginning of it. But I just wanted to share that with you, to let you know that, Jesus Christ is real, and you don't even know reality till you know Jesus Christ.